Okay, it's 2 o'clock, and I want to welcome everybody and thank you for being with us today for our Librarians Choice webinar. We received a great deal of input for this webinar, and all of it was extremely valuable to us. So that being said, we may not be able to cover the question or topic that you had posed to us during registration, but I did choose to include a lot of the questions that were most commonly asked during that point, as well as questions that I could easily demonstrate to you. And I dedicated a few portions of this webinar towards some of those topics as well. We have over 190 libraries registered with us today, so thank you. It's a large group meeting, so that's wonderful. We also want to give a special welcome to our CVS customers up in Canada. When we go to the website, I just want to remind you that this will be viewed on the U.S. site. So it may look a little different, but keep in mind functionality is all still the same. Hoopla will be the same, and so forth, okay? Also, we're recording today's presentation, and this will be available on our website afterwards in the archive, and I do like to email everybody a copy of the recording. So anyone that's registered for this, you will get an email with the recording. So let's go ahead and get started. We've got a lot to cover. Okay. Today's presenters, that's me. My name's Lisa Smith, and with my colleague and cohort, we've got Mike Riedemann, and we are the inside sales team here at Midwest Tape. And we have a special guest today, for those of you who may know Courtney Wolf. She's one of our sales representatives, and she is handling Q&A. So be easy on her today. She'll be answering the questions for anybody that's got additional Q&A. Use the Q&A up in the menu bar up there at the top. And Courtney will be managing that. Thank you. I've got a bit of an agenda, and it's going to start with, I'm simply going to go over your questions. I'm actually going to go over a lot of the questions that you have asked. We're taking a different approach for this month, and instead of focusing on one main topic or service, we're addressing actual questions that you suggested in the registration. And while doing this, I'm going to try to cover as much as possible, as many of the same questions were asked, but in different ways. So after that, Mike will then take over and discuss two very popular topics from you all. That would be Blu-ray trends and the future of physical media. Lastly, I know a great deal of you are interested in the Hoopla information that we're going to preview today, and of course, we're saving that for last. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, we have a lot to cover. A lot of people are still getting settled in. First of all, these are actual questions. I actually copied and pasted exact word-for-word questions from you all, and I'm going to go ahead and address them as well as I can. We've got 3 up here, and this is in regards to advanced searching. So I've got 3 similar questions here, but with different formats. So I definitely thought this was a great topic to include. They're very common questions, and instead of a true advanced search here at Midwest Tape, we tend to steer you towards using our Smart Browse instead. And this can be very effective, as well as in getting you that same results that you're seeking with an advanced search. Okay, so I'm going to actually take you to our website and demonstrate some examples. Okay, I'm going to go to the Smart Browse. My first question that I had up there on that PowerPoint was, how can one search by more than one criteria? For example, like for audiobooks, author and title. Well, my example that I'm going to use, perhaps Janet Ivanovich and Notorious 19. I'm going to go to my Smart Browse. Notice I selected my Smart Browse tab. I'm actually going to put in Ivanovich. And I'm going to search just by the author's last name. I have a search summary under People. There's Miss Janet Ivanovich. She's got 77 audiobooks, okay. Still going pretty quick. Did one click here. And it displays those 77 titles in the Smart Browse mode. Well, fortunately, I can sort by title. I can sort by any of these columns, by the way. I can just scroll down, and sorry if that's going too fast, but there's Notorious 19 right there. I found my title and my title information. Not too many steps. I think that's pretty quick and a pretty Good way to pull that up there. Okay, so I found it pretty quickly. Now, the second question was, can an advanced search be offered on the Midwest Tape website to make it possible to search on two terms, perhaps an artist and album title at once? Well, you know, I tested this out, and we really don't have the advanced search to do two terms at once, but let's say I've got an artist in mind and an album, you know, similar to author. I'm going to pick one of my favorite bands, 311, and let's think of the album Transistor. So I'm actually going to put 311 here in my Smart Browse. I'm going to hit search. And again, I'm going to go under person found. And that person it's going to pull up the band. Okay, I've got 22 CDs under this band, 311. That's fine. That's fine, but I don't really have to go through and look through all of them because it's alphabetical, it's alpha order. And there it is, Transistor. So there's really no need for a two-term search right there. I was able to do that using my Smart Browse. And honestly, it really only took a few seconds to get there. You know, I know my artist. Also, if I know an album, but I may not know the actual band, let's put in Transistor into my Smart Browse search. I'm going to hit search. Well, up in my search summary, there's 2 exact matches found, or there's 5 product titles contain the word Transistor. I'm going to hit CDs. There it is, my 311 Transistor right there. Okay, so instead of an advanced search, Midwest Tape, we use a Smart Browse, and I do believe it is just as effective in finding a lot of those titles. Okay? Now the third part of that advanced search question was how to do a cross-search. For example, if I want to find all the titles with a street date after January 1st, 2010, and the category is drama/romantic. Okay, so that's an actual question. So we're looking for a time as well as a category as well as a subcategory. I'm going to take that subcategory romantic and I'm going to type it into my Smart Browse search. Again, I'm under Smart Browse. I'm going to hit search. I'm going to get my search summary. I don't want the exact match. I don't want the product titles containing romantic, but I want to look under categories, and actually more specifically under subcategories. Fiction, drama, romantic. Well, there's 1,200 DVDs that are categorized romantic drama, okay? I can certainly click on all 1,200 of these and look at every single one. I can sort by my date range. I'm not going to do that today, and I don't know if a lot of you have the bandwidth to do that either. It'll take a while. It may take a while to load. But if you want to look at perhaps the most recent 100 romantic dramas, I can select those. So I'm going to click on most recent 100. And that is going to give me the most recent romantic dramas that have been entered into our system. Okay? Again, if I want to see 2010 to current, you are very welcome to click on all 1,200 of titles and browse through them, but I think this is a more effective way to find more recent romantic dramas, okay? And then you can just simply select the titles, and you can view that title information from the bottom there. All right, so that's a little bit about advanced search. Let's go back to... Okay. Now, next, sales rank. We have a few questions regarding sales rank. Midwest Tape Sales Rank is a great piece of information that we offer to our customers, being that we are one of the largest distributors of physical media in the industry, and we only serve libraries. You can use these numbers to gauge what is popular across and throughout the AV library industry. Keep in mind, this does not include retail sales popularity. So the Midwest Tape Sales Rank is based on the past 6 months of sales from Midwest Tape and then indicates the most popular items ordered in our database. This is across the board on all formats on our website. The lower the number, the more popular the item. We do allow for sorting via sales rank. You really can only sort your Smart Cart or by Smart Browse. And this way you can see the top-selling items. And I'll give you an example of that. So we have two questions here, and they're both kind of saying the same thing. I like to see what other libraries are purchasing. Instead of sorting alphabetically by title, is there a way to sort by sales rank when I'm browsing or searching? And also, I like how I can see the sales rank of items that I've searched, but is there a way to browse the top-selling items by their ranking? Again, kind of the same question. Let me take you to the website, and we're back. So I already have a Smart Browse search pulled up. I've got, we can use this as a sample. I've got the romantic DVDs, most recent romantic DVDs, romantic dramas, actually. I can actually sort by the sales rank. So I'm going to hit sales rank, and it's going to sort in, I believe that's a descending order there, with the most popular on top. We got the lowest number, the 13 on top. So right now, in the Midwest Tape website, based on the past 6 months of data and what's been ordered and what's in someone's cart and so forth, The Vow. That is the most popular romantic drama amongst libraries throughout the country and Canada right now. So the next is Big Miracle. Okay? But that's a really good way to gauge. If you have a category that you're interested in, that's sales rank sorting is a wonderful way to look at that. Okay? Okay, I'm sorry if you can hear that crackling there. All right, sorry about that if you heard the crackling. Apologize. Now, next, I'm going to go back to the other question I had on sales rank. If you want to see the sales ranking of perhaps, say, hot new DVDs and how they rank in our system compared to other items, and I do know that's one of the most popular, I'm going to go back to our Smart Browse, and I can actually put in hot new DVDs. I'm going to hit search. All right. Hot new DVD, actually one collection for that. We have 45 in our system, and these titles are also the titles you're going to see on our hot new release carousel, as well as the hot new DVDs under the quick links, and you can do the same for audiobooks as well as CDs. Let's see, what's the most popular hot new DVD release right now that's being ordered or in somebody's cart? I'm going to hit sales rank. I'll hit it one more time to get the lower number on top. There we go. Notice we've got the seventh most popular item in our entire website is The Hunger Games. So there are only 6 other titles in our system, and it could be a DVD or an audiobook that are more popular than The Hunger Games DVD right now. The next would be The Artist, Sherlock Holmes, Safe House, and so forth. Okay? So I definitely wanted to point that out. You can sort by sales rank, so if you wanted to kind of browse through these titles, I know hot new DVD releases are probably the most commonly browsed. Okay, so I wanted to definitely demonstrate that. Moving right along, title request feature. We had a couple questions regarding title requests, and this is an easy one to demonstrate. How can we suggest titles or topics to Midwest Tape? Or what are the possibilities of being able to make suggestions for titles not available in Midwest Tape? Again, let's go back to our website, and hopefully I'm not going too fast for you all. I'm going to go to the home page. On our home page, and we're going to go all the way down to the bottom right-hand side of, and hopefully you all can see that. Don't forget to expand your screens. Under Customer Service, we have a Customer Service box. Go ahead and click Title Requests. And what this is, it's a form that you fill out with as much information about that title or series or audiobook as you possibly can. All right, you can put a source in there if you can find it somewhere else, and that sends that information to our marketing team for them to take a look at and see if they can find it, and they will contact you directly. Okay, so that's a way to be able to make some title suggestions. All right? Next, had some questions about our standing orders, and I could and have held entire webinars based on customized standing orders. And I will give you the very short version, as we had quite a few questions brought up that pertain to these standing orders. So I'll do a brief overview. What they are, they're a free collection development tool similar to a pre-release notification list. No minimums, no obligations to purchase. It's simply a cart uploaded to your account with an email notification to the receiver that it's available for review. We take no further action from there. You go ahead and you decide what you do after that. You simply review the titles in this cart that we send to you or that we upload to your account. You can add titles, delete titles. You can delete the cart. You can share it with other people, whatever you'd like to do. If you're curious on how they work and you want to see if they're helpful, you can always try out a few of them, being that there are no contracts or obligation. You can have them stopped at any time. So now, going back to our slide with the questions. This first question, she's asking, she's got some patrons that love British mysteries, such as Inspector Lewis, Midsummer Murders, and Canadian Murdoch mysteries. I'm assuming her question is, do we have series plans like with these titles? And as of right now, if you want to get these popular series, I would definitely recommend doing the Best of TV. And it's also recommended that you try our British series plan. While the British series plan is mainly movies, our Best of TV will cover popular series such as this. So you may want to try those out for sure. Now, the second question is, how do you go about selecting titles that appear with the standing order cart? Well, real quick, I'll go back to the website. I have a hot new romance audio cart. Yeah, the date's a little old there, or has not come yet, but I'm going to go to this cart. This is an audiobook cart for my romance titles. Let's imagine I was just sent this cart, and I want to pick out, let's say I want maybe 3 of these titles. I can go ahead and select these 3. I can move them to another cart. I can move them to a new cart. I've got all these functions up here that I can use to get these titles out of there. Or I could delete all the other titles out and send this through as is. It's as simple. It's as if you made the cart yourself. Okay? Now, the last question on here on our PowerPoint was, what are some of your most popular DVD standing order plans? Well, I will tell you. Some of the most popular ones are the feature film cart at the $1 million box office and up. That one does come twice a month. And after that, I would say the genre plans, again, Best of TV, perhaps award winners, as well as forum plans are very popular. I've added brochures for you to download in the handouts. So if you want more information, feel free to either contact us, download those brochures. We'll be happy to get you that information, okay? Moving on. We had a topic brought up about rental edition, rental-ready DVDs that you may possibly see on a website. Quite a few of you were definitely interested in learning about this and whether or not this will become the norm and what the status is on this. Well, I can tell you that while all the studios have at least dabbled in using rental editions, there really is one major studio that's really pulled the trigger on mandating the rental policies that has affected our Midwest State Library customers. This does affect about 15-plus titles per year, and they are theatrical releases. Sometimes they are very popular releases. These titles may be greatly anticipated by your patrons. At the end of the day, a lot of our customers really have adapted to this by waiting out that delay for the rental edition and that 28-day window delay in release. We do hear a lot that hold lists for such titles can be months. So sometimes the patrons are already used to waiting past those posted street dates, but it's really just up to you on whether or not you want to purchase that. So it is a stripped down, rental edition. It is the movie, but they're also cheaper in price. They're a little cheaper than our regular releases. So we are staying tuned we're always staying tuned to see what happens next as we continue to do our best to meet your needs when it comes to the rental retail issue. And our purchasing department is always working to try to eliminate this the best that they can to advocate for our customers so that libraries aren't always included in this rental group. I know, I guess as a good point, Disney has recently imposed a 28-day delay to Redbox, I believe, for some films, and luckily at this time this has not been passed down to the library industry and distributors. So the other question I have is, we had how to, and I thought I had it up there, how to search and single out rental editions on our website. Well, my answer to that is, as of right now, there's no way to single out rental editions on our website, but once you're at the title level, we have added the word rental next to the title so that you know when you're ordering, it is a rental copy, and also it's on the artwork. So it is pretty transparent. Once you're on the site, if you're browsing through the titles, you can see it. Okay, so that's what I have to say about that there. We're going to go ahead and go forward. I do have some miscellaneous topics of interest I'm going to go through real quick here. Some last questions. All right. I would like to know if there is a way to make a note about an individual item in my cart. For example, to remind myself why I'm ordering that item. Perhaps to replace an outdated one, maybe it's a replacement, so forth. Next question, finding all formats for one title at the same time. Also, I am interested in more info on looking at past orders. And is it possible to delete multiple carts at one time? Okay, I'm going to take you to the website where I will repeat the question again so you guys know what I'm talking about and what I'm demonstrating. And then we're going to pass this on over to Michael Riedemann. All right, first one, I would like to know if there's a way to make a note about an individual item in my cart. I'm in the Smart Cart view. I'm viewing this romance cart here, Hot New Romance Audio, same cart. Down here at the bottom half of my screen, under the Instructions tab, first of all, just make note, I have Baby Don't Go by Stephanie Bond selected. I can, under Internal Notes, make notes to myself. You can make notes to other people, so if you send this cart to another user, they can read this as well. I put a little note in there earlier. I love this title. Next one, Dead by Nightfall, I put replacement. In close, you can put whatever you'd like in there. Please order. And the neat part about that is this shows up on the packing flip, so you'll be able to see those notes if you want them there. Okay? So hopefully that answered your question. Next one I had is finding all formats for one title at the same time. This is actually handled in our search, and I've got a great example. I can simply put Hunger Games in this search. I'm going to hit go. And I went to the search in the upper right-hand corner, so hopefully you all saw that. Notice under my search controls, I have an option to scale it down by format, but it selects all. So I'm going to pull up all formats that pertain to Hunger Games. So you'll notice I've got my audiobook, I've got my playaway, my DVD, my Blu-ray, the score, another score, various artists, additional series, audiobooks, and so forth. So I think that's, really if you just have all selected there in your search controls, you're going to find everything within all formats under that title. You can also go to Smart Browse, put in Hunger Games, hit search, and it tells me there's 11 product titles that contain Hunger Games. There's a DVD, a couple CDs, some audiobooks, a Blu-ray, as well as playaways. And then you can select from there. Okay? So again, that's that Smart Browse really working for you. All right, third question. I am interested in more information on looking at past orders. We have a nice feature called under Tools, Search Orders, and I find this very helpful. You can go under Ordered to find your orders. I apologize, there's no orders that I have under this login, but you'll be able to find your orders that have not shipped in its entirety under this area right here. You can actually pull them up, and you can view each title and the status. Okay, so it'll be titles that have shipped and titles that are still on order. Now, to find past orders that have shipped in their entirety, you will find them under these shipped tabs. You're probably going to be most concerned with shipped this year, and I don't think there's anything. Nope, I don't have anything. I've got a faux login here by Laney County. But that's a great place. Go ahead and look around, investigate, play with that tools and that search option. And I'm going to stay here because my next and last question that I have up here was, is it possible to delete multiple carts at one time? Well, again, under the Tools tab, under Open Carts, you can view all of the carts within your library here. Okay? I've got quite a few under here, but these are all my carts as well as other users, but you'll be able to know by the names of them. You can simply check them, go down to the bottom, and hit delete. Okay? That's it. So that Tools tab is really very useful. All right, I'm going to go ahead. I went over my time a little bit here, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the PowerPoint. And I'm going to, at this time, pass everything on to Mr. Mike Riedemann, who's going to talk about some trends.
All right,
Mike?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, thanks, Lisa.
You're welcome.
And thanks again, everyone, for joining us today. So like Lisa said, I'm going to go over a lot of the questions regarding what the realities are with the future of physical and digital media, as well as addressing the specific physical formats, DVD and Blu-ray. Some of these questions were like, where will physical media be in 5 years? Everyone's saying DVD's dead and streaming's going to be the preferred choice in the future. Some wanted to know some basic info on the pros and cons of streaming and what the demand is at this point. For Blu-ray, we got, should Blu-ray start to be collected at my library? And if so, what should be taken into consideration? Or will Blu-ray take over DVD? Other inquiring minds were wondering about the impending doom of audiobooks and playaways. And all of these are great questions. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for your participation and your contributions. So all of these questions add up to one, and that is, what are the future trends in the AV industry, and how do they relate to libraries? I'm going to try to address most of these issues in the next few slides here. Libraries, more than any other industry I've seen, they have this responsibility and passion to provide many different types of material in all different formats to a very large cross-section of people in their communities. It's obviously a daunting challenge. It's rife with serious budgetary concerns, questions about what the long-term sustainable solutions are that are going to please the communities they serve and the individuals that support them. The first thing I'd like to address here is the overarching topic of the demise of physical product. Is it a myth or is it an impending reality? I think it's really easy to fall into that mindset of physical product being very close to obsolete. I mean, this past April, I read a blog that had the title, "Physical Media is Dead. Long Live the App." The Internet is littered with these kind of opinions. In March, the highly respected global research firm IHS, they made the grand announcement that people would watch more movies online than on discs in 2012. This report was splashed all over the media, never minding that most of the report focused on the rise of subscription-based VOD companies and completely neglecting the other projection, which was made that digital consumption would generate $1.7 billion. Physical video consumption was almost 10 times more at $11.1 billion. Well, I don't have a crystal ball for predicting what the landscape of content will look like in 5 or 10 years. I think looking at current numbers, reports, and what experts in market analysis say lends great insight as to what the future holds. There's a company in Portland, Oregon called Rentrack that specializes in media measurement. Their report for 2011 said that consumers spent $5.6 billion renting DVD and Blu-ray, and that's where the shift in behavior is right now with consumers. Why we're seeing some restlessness by the studios there to make up for lost revenue from sell-through in that area, but that $5.6 billion topped revenues from digital distributions like Netflix. Now, Netflix generated $3.2 billion last year, but that was from both digital streaming and physical discs. In December of 2011, the CEO of Netflix, Reed Hastings, he explained how the increase in subscription fees that they had recently instituted was a result of a complete focus on streaming and a mindset of not wanting to, quote, live and die with DVD, unquote. Netflix customers balked and canceled memberships were a result. Reed was further quoted then as saying, "We got overconfident. We berate ourselves tremendously for that lack of insight because it didn't need to be that way." A couple weeks ago, Netflix sent out an email focusing on its physical DVD side of business. And by the way, I'm not trying to berate Netflix at all. I personally think they're a great company. But I think that's one example of why it may not be such a good idea to write off physical media quite yet. Recently, Verizon has teamed up with Redbox to complement their services. And I think the bottom line for physical media is that there's no doubt that we're going to continue to see really strong growth from all kinds of digital sectors. This is going to be driven by the explosion in mobile devices, and in 5 years, we'll see digital content even more accessible. But with that said, the physical disc will definitely still be around and used. Over 92 million U.S. households own a DVD player, 14 million own a Blu-ray player, and 46 million own gaming consoles. That spells a commitment to using discs for home video use for a long time. And let's remember that of the 90 million high-definition TVs sold since 2008, only 11% are Internet connected. So let's dig a little bit deeper here into the 2011 numbers for video and music, which is the last full year we have information for. You notice that audiobook stack there. I'll be addressing that separate slide in a few minutes. But the facts are that 78% of consumer budgets, those went to purchasing or renting physical discs. That's almost 80 cents of every dollar. 15% went to video subscription services, who again have a very strong customer base of physical discs, and then only 8% is going to strictly downloads, paid streaming, and the VOD pay-per-view market. So while it's true that rental stores are quickly vanishing, kiosks and other convenience outlets are picking up the slack. We're the largest distributor of videos to libraries in North America, and we consistently hear that circulations are up, and there is very strong demand for feature films and back catalog titles by patrons. For CDs, everyone knows that the music industry has taken its lumps over the past several years. There's been tremendous realignment on how we receive music, and we're beginning to see the efforts of a reconciliation in a world of physical and digital distribution. After years of falling sales, which were driven by falling CD sales, the digital side has increased sharply, and overall, they are now on a slight upswing. Online radio is going to continue to increase, but again, this is a complement overall, and one that experts see as coexisting and not replacing. Interesting, the number of consumers buying physical music CDs rose 2% last year. There were 78 million consumers in 2011. Now, we shouldn't be under any illusion that CDs are going to come back to where they were 10 to 15 years ago, but I think that's a significant number. Also, NDP, a leading market research company out of Port Washington, New York, they've stated that the online radio segment is experiencing the fastest growth out there for music, but that listening to physical CDs and AM/FM are still by far the most ubiquitous ways of listening. My son, who's 14, he couldn't care any less about CDs, but for someone older like me, I love the sound quality. I love that I can always go back to that highest quality source. I can transfer it over to my multiple mobile devices. I'm pretty fanatical about some bands, and I love the extra tracks and the artwork that I get, and even though I miss the full-size artwork and posters that come with LPs, which, by the way, they're also experiencing a rise in sales, but I won't bore you with those numbers. But at Midwest Tape, we think that while libraries should definitely research and utilize digital media as an avenue for diversifying your collections and really providing your patrons with more options, you shouldn't be so quick to neglect your physical collections or consider physical media dead. Experts believe that it's going to take about another decade before we see physical media dominance replaced at the earliest. So the facts I showed on this slide, I think, have spoken of how DVD and Blu-ray are still the formats that the majority of Americans want. And libraries, as the only legal tenders of free media, they should protect this crucial community role, especially as libraries become the primary source for DVD rentals in many areas. Another question that was asked was, what are the pros and cons of streaming for libraries? I don't feel like I have the expertise to say what the cons would be for libraries, but I do know that we feel that the pros are extremely plentiful. It's going to be an opportunity to serve patrons in yet another way. It has great potential to reach out to individuals who may not be users of library services currently. And so I think it goes without saying that the key there is accessibility to a consistent connection with ample bandwidth. And here, I'd like to point you in the direction of an article written by Benjamin Malzewski. I apologize, Ben, if you're listening. I just butchered your name. Ben is an adult services librarian at the Ypsilanti District Library in Michigan, where he oversees DVD collection development. Late last year, he wrote a great article on streaming video and had some really interesting and I felt well-informed opinions on where things are going with the delivery of video. So if you plug into the search engine the name of his article that appeared in Library Journal, you'll be able to find it. It's called Still Loading, AV Spotlight on Streaming Video. Again, that article is Still Loading, AV Spotlight on Streaming Video. It's a great article in case you missed it. Let's move on to Blu-ray now and look at what the current trends are in this area. At this point, we do not see Blu-ray being replaced by another physical format for the high-definition segment of the video industry. Blu-ray is the format taking up the slack in total overall video sales. DVD sales are down and Blu-ray is up. Blu-ray has not yet reached its potential for the amount of info that can be placed on the disc, nor has it reached its potential for maximum resolution. There are no plans currently to go higher than what's accommodated on high-definition TV sets, which is 1080p, but if the powers that be do move ahead with something better, the Blu-ray format can handle it, and it's well-positioned to adapt to evolving standards. Blu-ray offers quality that's light years beyond what you're going to find in the digital realm. The bandwidth availability that's going to take to rival Blu-ray is a long ways off from being the norm. 3D technology is the most recent and impressive innovation that seems to have occurred within Blu-ray lately. To address the combo pack question of whether or not we are seeing more films released on Blu-ray only or in combo packs only, well, the answer to that is yes. The studios are offering more and more combo packs, and they're experimenting quite a bit right now to see what the market will bear in both of those instances. Another question that was asked was, do the studios seem to have a standard time that they switch over from the bonus DVDs and the combo packs to just Blu-ray or vice versa? No, they're simply there while the supplies last. And it seems that studios do not want to offer a different SKU and get stuck with existing products. So, we've never been able to get a real firm time frame on that question of what the standard time is going to be. So if you're asking the question to collect Blu-ray or not, what factors should be taken into your decision? And if you look at the numbers on this slide, it's obvious that more and more Americans are adopting Blu-ray. But it goes without saying that we feel libraries have to study their community individually and decide if this is a format that will be in demand to justify the investment. In our universe, and again, we're the largest distributors of video to libraries in North America, we've seen our Blu-ray numbers double. But with that said, Blu-ray represents at most about 6% of our total video sales. And it seems that libraries may be slower in adopting Blu-ray than consumers are. And I was really curious as to what the thoughts were at our last webinar, which was about collection development. The majority said they're not planning on starting a collection anytime soon, if ever. But what we have heard from libraries who have decided to offer the format, it's been very well received and appreciated by patrons, and they're very happy with the circulation numbers there. So if you're looking to incorporate Blu-ray into your collection, please let us know. We have multiple tools on the website, and we can even provide suggestion lists in the form of preloaded carts to help you start and maintain a core collection of Blu-ray. It's just one more of our no-obligation, free value-added services that we provide. Just let us know, and we'll be happy to discuss what your needs and challenges are. Another question was, do you think Blu-rays will become more popular than DVDs in the near term? Our opinion is that it won't happen in the near future, although it seems like the studios are offering more and more combo packs to push this. We see a lot of Blu-ray promotion in the theaters and in the DVD trailers. Again, we're seeing an increase of our sales each year, but it doesn't compare to our DVD sales. However, just know that it is growing, and 1 in 4 homes now have a Blu-ray player. The cost for the players are going down, and the cost for the discs are going down as well. Last month, Home Media Magazine's Chris Tribby posed the question to Andy Parsons, who's the Senior Vice President of Corporate Communications for Pioneer Electronics, and he's also the chair of the Blu-ray Disc Association's Promotion Committee. So the question was, is Blu-ray in fact the last physical format, or do you see something like SD cards replacing it? And he said, you know, he avoids trying to predict the future, but that new physical formats are based on specific applications that mandate their use. So to me, I think knowing that Blu-ray has much potential for taking on more capacity in the image and the uncompressed sound quality arenas, it is at this point looking like Blu-ray will be around for a long time. So what are the current numbers for Blu-ray versus DVD? First off, they are down overall. For the week ending June 30th, Blu-ray has a 26% market share, while DVD holds a 64% market share. This is a trend that looks to slowly continue. DVD was down 5.2% from the same week last year. Blu-ray bumped up just a little shy of 1% from the same week previous year. All right, well, let's talk audiobooks real quickly. Audiobooks are continuing overall on a very healthy increase in titles. That's feeding the increasing consumer consumption that we're all seeing. Here at Midwest Tape, we carry more audiobooks under one roof than any other distributor, with over 225 publishers represented in our catalog. We have a very high-end collection of exclusive titles not found anywhere else. Delivery-wise, the CD format, it's still garnering the lion's share of sales dollars. Now, unit-wise, downloads are gaining the majority, and that was just happened this past year. Audiobook CDs are going to continue to be a popular format, not only in the retail market, but for library patrons. I believe it's for the exact same reasons people still strongly cling to music CDs. It's a high-quality sounding product. It's very flexible, and it's convenient in that listeners are able to play it in their cars. They can transfer onto an MP3 player or a tablet or their mobile phone and then take it anywhere they like. It's easy. And in that regards, playaways are easy. They offer great sound quality, and they also allow a user to not have to fill up precious space on their devices. Like video and music, e-audiobooks are consistently growing. E-audio experienced a 300% dollar volume increase in the past 5 years. Midwest Tape is going to continue to be a leader in the physical format, but we're also looking to be a leader in the digital realm as well. It's an area we've been working on for many years and look forward to offering a platform that will be completely different than any other offered to libraries. What may be the most anticipated part of our webinar. Lisa?
Hi, Mike. Thank you. It was very informative. Okay. And if we go over, we apologize, and thanks for sticking with us. So the big question today, what is Hoopla? Basically, Hoopla is Can everyone hear me? Okay. Hoopla is Midwest Tape's digital media platform. Now, mobile is where all the action is, and Hoopla is a mobile-centric platform that's been developed from the ground up by the same developers that have created the Midwest Tape website. It's meant to be very user-friendly and easy to use for the patrons. So while Hoopla will be available on the latest browsers and is what we are giving a sneak peek of today, it is really geared towards towards the mobile experience, which really is a lot cooler. But due to restrictions of our presentation platform, I'm unable to demonstrate the actual apps. Okay, so we are demonstrating with the browser. So I want to go ahead and tell you at launch, Midwest Tape will offer e-video, e-music, and e-audiobook. We plan to offer at least 5,000 to 10,000 videos at launch, and that's going to include movies, television shows, and documentaries, over 7,000 audiobooks at launch, and then, get this, over 150,000 full-length albums. All right, so this is what we're anticipating at launch time, and this launch time is still anticipated for the fourth quarter of 2012. So that probably handled about 50% of the questions that we received. Yep, fourth quarter. Okay. Next. Again, more of what is Hoopla. All right, it has been developed from the ground up to be very user-friendly and easy to use. And yes, I am going to demonstrate the platform, by the way. I just want to go over some information first. There's a discover and access content with as few clicks as possible. We want to make it easy from the patron experience. There's no need to download multiple programs, set up multiple accounts, or connect your device to a computer. Okay? We are using DRM as required by content providers. That's the digital rights management. But this will be invisible to your patrons, which is good news. Now, Hoopla is going to support the following devices, or the following devices will support Hoopla. Your iOS devices, your iPad, iPhone, iPod, as well as, at launch, a variety of Android devices running the most recent and relevant versions. Apple TV, and that's when it's connected to one of your Apple mobile devices, and that's going to be really cool. And I think as time goes on, a lot more people will be getting this Apple TV, and it's wonderful. You'll be able to watch movies from the TV straight from your iPad that you borrowed something from Hoopla from you don't even have to leave your house. It's wonderful. And as well as the top-based PC web browsers. So it's going to be your more current versions of Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, and Chrome. So we didn't want to leave out people. Not everybody has these devices. Not everybody has an iPad or an iPod or perhaps an Android. Patrons can still go to the library, use your computer, and log on to a browser and access Hoopla, okay? So we don't want to leave everybody out, or anybody out, that is. All right. Now, the patron experience is nearly instant gratification, since all content will be available within seconds. We are using a cloud-based media streaming technology, so it's kind of platformed after the Netflix type experience. It's instant media streaming technology. There's no need to wait for media to load. There's no buffering, no start stops, and so forth. Our technology allows the quality level of the media stream to adapt in real time to changes in the different quality of bandwidth. Not everybody's going to have a 4G network. Okay, so we understand that. So we're able to use this technology to adapt to those bandwidth changes. Okay? And then one of the biggest questions we have, based on a lot of the feedback that we received from our libraries, based on conversation, we really listened, and we decided to go with the per-circ model based on what was told to us. This is going to be at launch. We will launch the per-circ model to allow for exceptional content and flexibility, which will eliminate long waiting lists and hold times for your patrons, as well as alleviating patron frustration in not finding titles they want. There will be tools that are provided. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little feedback. There's going to be tools that are provided to allow for you to manage your budget. There's going to be a whole librarian dashboard where you're going to have circulation reports. You're going to be able to manage that money. Again, based on conversations we've had, we understand libraries have different budgets, different sizes. Not everybody can, buy all that content. 100% of the funding will be invested in materials that circulate. No money is wasted on stagnant titles that do not circ. So That's pretty important. Unlike other offerings, there's not a setup fee. Okay, there's no setup fee nor any long-term contracts or commitments, and it's very easy to obtain. All right. That being said, let's go ahead and I'm going to take you to our Hoopla browser site so I can demonstrate what it looks like. All right. Again, this is the web browser. This is not the actual app. Most people will be using, your iPhone and downloading the app, or your Android. This is if you're using from the patron perspective. This is from the patron perspective, say at your library. All right. Now start with the initial sign-up. It's very simple to do. There's no need to install a bunch of programs or authenticate devices or set up different accounts. Now, Hoopla integrates with your library's ILS to authenticate each user and patron. And you can also, perhaps you're going to be able to verify age and implement restrictions if desired. So if there's something, if someone's got past due fees, you're going to be able to manage that, okay? So let me log in here. You're going to have to just set up one time, set up a profile, choose your library card number, and so forth. Let's see. I have to sign in. I'm going to sign in real quick. So you just, to sign in, that's just an example. You just put in your email address and password. Now I'm going to go to my settings. Now, let's give that library feel, okay? The Hoopla app was intentionally developed to keep that library relevant and to keep the patron in the library. Now, the library image is provided to Midwest Tape by the library, and then Midwest Tape customizes the browser. The RSS feed, there's an RSS feed that is pulled from your library's website. It's set up one time, and then we're off hands. We don't touch it from there. It's all you guys. This is a great way to communicate with your patrons and draw them into the physical library. If you want to talk to those Hoopla users, those app users that never come to the library, you can send them information this way. It's a live feed. Okay? Now I'm going to browse some titles. I'm going to hit that find. Notice it's very simple, very elegant. Very easy. We wanted to make the browsing titles a pleasurable experience, not a chore. It's kind of a discovery experience as well. The top bar, it's going to have your movies, your television, music, audiobooks. We're going to come back to collections here in a little bit. Now the other bar here, we've got featured. Now featured are going to be titles that are created by Midwest Tape. New releases are going to be the new titles that are added to Hoopla. Top titles. Now this shows the top titles across all of Hoopla. And then genres. It's for your genres. And then recommended. It's going to be based on borrowing history. Okay. So I'm going to scroll down. I know you can only see the top half. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit, but you can see how simple and how nice it looks. I don't want to go too fast because I know sometimes it can't keep up. Okay. So now we found the search capabilities of some platforms to be lacking, so we really want to work on improving that function. Our developers really did this. There's a search button up here at the upper right-hand portion of your screen. Now, let's do some examples. For Lord of the Rings, you don't have to type in exactly Lord of the Rings. You can simply search Rings, let's say Rings Lord. I'm going to hit search. It's going to bring up search results, and it's only giving me movies here. If it had other formats, it would list them down as well. But I've got the different movies, okay, relevant to that title. And again, this content's all demonstration purposes. All right, let's do another one. Say it's the Christmas season, so we want to find some holiday music, and you like Michael Bublé, so let's search for Bublé Christmas. There's Michael Bublé's Christmas album. Let's do another one. Say you were a big fan of Prince. back in college or high school and remember an album name for a year, but you don't remember the year, so let's search for Prince. What year was that? Let's search for Prince. Now, see, it's going to show. It's not going to be Prince the artist. It's going to show up anything relevant to Prince. There's Prince music. I'm going to hit see more, and I can actually sort by title. There it is, Prince, 1999. Okay, so that's a good way to get in there. All right, another search. We're a fan of Tim Tebow, so let's put in Tebow. There's an audiobook from Tim Tebow there, Through My Eyes. A couple more, and then we'll go back. We'll do some collections and show you what my titles is. Let's say you like the band Led Zeppelin, but you're feeling kind of lazy. You're feeling kind of lazy in your search, so you just put in Led. The neat thing about that, it's going to pull up Led Zeppelin. All right, so, and again, there's movies based on Led Zeppelin as well as music. Okay, so it's a very easy search. It's a very easy feel. Last one, your kid saw an animated movie about a panda that was into martial arts at a sleepover, and he really liked it. So let's see. Let's type in panda and see what happens. Movies about pandas. Oh, look, it's Chopkick Panda. That's the movie we were looking for. So there it is. All right. I'm going to go back to the collection section here. Being that you have a lot of control over Hoopla as a staff or librarian at your library, you're going to be able to build collections. And you're going to be able to build as many collections as you want, unlimited amount of collections, so that you can push these out to your patrons based perhaps on popular artists in your region, an author in your, if you're from Philadelphia, you can make a Philadelphia treasures collection, and then it's going to have like all the Philadelphia artists and bands that are relevant to the area there, which is kind of neat. Holidays, if it's Christmas, you can put a holiday collection together, so forth. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and let's look at some content here. Let's say I want to borrow some titles. I'm going to borrow this Michael Bublé Christmas album. So I click on it. Notice you can do social media. You're going to be able to Twitter this. Your patrons will be able to Twitter that they're listening to Michael Bublé's Christmas albums via Hoopla, via Free Library of Philadelphia, or whatever, insert library here. They'll be able to rate it. And notice it's the full album. We have the true library lending model here. It's it's a loan. It's not a download. This is going to be a loan. It's going to disappear when that lending period's done with, or they can return it early. So let's go ahead. There's my tracks. I'm looking them over, and I'm going to hit borrow. You can set your restrictions. So if you allow for music CDs to be borrowed for so long, you can keep them. If it's only a week, you can set those restrictions as well. Let's do another one. Let's borrow an audiobook. Let's do actually I Am, which is a DVD. Same thing, you can Twitter this. It's going to give you the information, the rating, the synopsis of the movie. But you can also, we're also going to keep the Rotten Tomatoes. There's the tomato meter. I'm going to give you some information, gives that patron some information. You can go ahead and hit borrow. All right. Excellent. And let's do an audiobook. Let's get one of each format. And Faith by Jennifer Hyde there. And that's an audiobook. So I'm going to hit borrow. Now, once you're, say you've borrowed your content, now where do you go as a patron to find all this stuff? Well, simply under My Titles, you can click that, and there's all the titles. And then from here, you can listen to and view these. Now, I do have to tell you that there are I can't, let's see. Through Microsoft Live, it's hard to demonstrate streaming video through the webinar platform that I'm using because it's just stop, stop, stop. It's like a screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. So I'm going to try and demonstrate the audio book, but again, with the sound, I have to use my own speaker and hold my headset up to it. So let me see if that works real quick here. Okay.
And now you bow your head in shame for a sin no one forgives. Dropkick Murphys. This is your life. He lives for God, who lives by the rule. Saint Benedict.
Okay. It's hard to demonstrate the actual audiobook playing, but what this is a couple things to mention. It is instantaneous. It's not stopping and starting. It does play. You've got this play bar down here that will show you, the time and so forth. The cool thing about this is since it's cloud-based, you can pause this and then stop it, and then you can go on the road. You can leave the library, go on the road, get home, take your iPad out, go back to My Titles, play this, and leave where you left off. It's the mobile experience, okay? Same thing with your iPhone. It's something that you can pause, stop, pick up back from your iPhone and listen to this audiobook or watch that movie, okay? You can return it at any time before you're done and so forth. So that is basically what the Hoopla browser looks like and how it's used. Very easy. It's very easy to use. And I know we're coming up on our 3 o'clock time here, so hopefully, I do want to add that, this is definitely just the start. This is the beginning conversations of this. And there will definitely be, as we move forward with the final development stages of Hoopla, we'll continue to communicate and demonstrate all of the features and aspects of this program. So definitely expect at some point a webinar solely dedicated to Hoopla in the future. Very, very near future. So we're definitely excited about it. Okay, let's go ahead. A couple things that I want to point out before we close up or end here. Stay current. You can subscribe to our email or RSS, and you can now find us on Facebook. And be sure to check out our news and views. We've got a wonderful Blade writer that is writing reviews of movies, Kirk Baird, and they're definitely worth checking out in our blog on our homepage. Don't forget to take our survey today. This is, I'm going to go ahead and send out a survey, if not late this afternoon, probably first thing in the morning. This is another great place. While I do have all your initial questions, go ahead, if you have additional questions, you can put them in the comments section of the survey. We will get to them. I'm going to pass this out to sales reps, and we're going to make sure that your questions get answered. And hopefully, we've had Courtney handling that Q&A the whole time, and we're very excited. Upcoming webinars. August, Mike Riedemann will be hosting Advanced Website Settings. And then in September, we're doing something a little different. Midwest Tape is pairing up with Random House/BOT. We're going to do a highlight of titles of some upcoming Random House Books on Tape audiobook titles for the season. So we're very excited to pair up and do this with them. I think from there Mike, I think we're all set. Yeah, I think we are. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I will send this recording around, and thanks for stopping by.